This is Stalker 2. We've got what is a monstrously big update to the game. This is the 1.5 update, or patch 1.5. So we're here on Xbox Series X. Be sure to like the video. Subscribing is great as well. So we've gotten quite a few big updates to this game. It's changed a lot since its initial release. Performance has improved, mechanics have improved, they have fixed a lot of the issues here, and now they are continuing to fix them, while also evolving some of the gameplay mechanics and adding support for some really cool functionality within the game. So we're going to be talking about that today and going over kind of like what's the patch notes, what's changed, what's evolved for this version of the game. And it's really interesting to see just the big leaps and bounds they've made for this, and the improvements over time. That's why it's a good time to pack a drink. Actually, what I was really wanting to have was a Band-Aid, because my character is bleeding a bit. So, a big change here is to the A-Life system. So the A-Life system is kind of a big backbone of Stalker, and it's something that a lot of players have felt is a bit underwhelming in the game, or it's something they've been working towards properly fully integrating. So the system changes here are actually really cool for that. So life changes. Just heard a dog. Life in the zone is now simulated for all characters, not just those characters in the player's view. So that's a big part of the A-Life system, is that you are supposed to... Oh, these mystical dogs. Okay, this is... This is ridiculous. So the... is this a bug? This is ridiculous. So in the past, the A-Life system was a bit problematic because it was like not really existent within the game, and then like it only simulated things that were in like the vicinity. So now the new update to the game, you've got to be kidding me. So the new update to the game now simulates a full world of Stalker action for you to enjoy. Oh, come on! You've got to be kidding me. Where do they keep coming from? Was that the final... Yeah. Sorry. Holy. I was not expecting that. So yeah, not just in the player's view. Characters continue to live their lives and pursue their goals until they meet their end. Players can meet the same stalkers after some time. So there'll be stalkers within the environment that you'll come across, and then you may come across them again as they're sort of living their lives and doing their stuff. So players may encounter more A-Life characters resting or interacting in various locations. It adds to the world's immersion, seeing people actually doing things, relaxing, having things that they do with their life. Characters will no longer respawn directly in front of the player. When the player's view is changed, respawn is moved further away from the player. So you maintain the population of the zone, but the idea is you should never come across actually physically seeing anything appear in your line of sight. So that's one of the systems they've added here, is like when you're moving around, like it's not gonna just be... I'm over encumbered. You're not gonna just like see things appear in your line of sight, which was honestly like a major problem for this game. Was like there was just so many things that would pop up in front of you. It was ridiculous. I'm not that over encumbered. Absolutely ridiculous. So how are we doing here in the zone? Let's see what we're doing. Okay. It's just one of those days. Alright. So they've also changed things. So the visualization range is increased, and it will reduce the pop-in effect of things within your environment. So you're less likely to see things just kind of appear in front of you in regards to like animations or events or things going on. They've added a new anomaly, the water electric tornado, because, you know, the other stuff wasn't dangerous enough, as to say. They've added 3-line rifle weapon, a new handgun, the Cora. Are these bad guys? They've added a new feature, the looting of mutant parts. That's what we were just doing there, if you didn't notice that. Looting the dogs. I figured that was new. What is that over there? Is that like a bulb thing? I think that's a bug. How are you shooting me? I don't like this at all. Added the display of available artifact slots for armors. The player stash window is increased in size. Let's see what else here we got here. I think we're going to need a distant gun for this situation. That was a waste of a shot. Added a reload renewal feature for all of the weapons. Added an unlockable fix all button in the technician's upgrade menu to repair all equipment. And a take all button becomes inactive after putting any item in the loot window. That was an issue that was happening. What is going on? Where is this coming from? What? I don't understand what's happening here. So, there may be some issues based on previous mods that were added if you're coming from a PC perspective, but obviously we're doing this on console, so we're pretty good there. It looks like the ungodly level of aim that AI has continued to persevere. Okay, well that's a lot more dynamic than it used to be. That is some of the most impeccable aim I think I've ever seen, unless you're just spraying randomly and getting lucky. AI in combat fixed an issue where Snork was unable to jump from isolated areas. Controller was able to deal damage by his roar ability, even out of line. Rodents kept making sounds after they died. That would just be unsettling. Pseudo Giant was able to get stuck at short distances from the player. Oh, I had manipulated that in order to kill one of those before. That's kind of funny. I don't even know how I'd kill that thing now, unless they've made it easier. Ballistic falloff is added, so NPCs won't be able to hit players from ridiculously far distances anymore. It could have fooled me. I guess I did see that the bullets were curving kind of downwards from up there, but they were still definitely quite a threat for accuracy. Improved mutant standing and attacking behavior when the player is not moving. Fixed issue where Churn jump attacks deal damage before hitting the player or reaching the player. Bird could be killed while its shield was active if you were close. NPCs taking cover while fighting each other. Fix those issues, because we were having problems with that. NPCs could walk in place in peaceful hubs. So they would just be walking in like one spot over and over and over again. Yeah, we've got a lot of other changes here. What time of the day is it? Like nighttime, isn't it? 23:35. Ugh. Late day out here in the dark of these creepy buildings. That's what happens, you know, you get in a building and it's like, oh, you're not thinking about what's going on. Oh, you've got to be kidding me. So they've balanced a lot of things in this game. So they fixed some general issues where mission NPCs could have overpowered items in their inventory. I don't want to deal with whatever this is. Replaced certain ammo types, 762-39 with 762-54. Sniper rifle adjustments in regards to their internal stuff. Supersonic ammo now deals way less damage to weapon durability, which is kind of nice. You've got to be kidding me. I'm feeling like some straight up hostility from this environment. Armor penetration reworks, damage of cavalier weapon types, artifact effects rebalances, updated stashes, stash locations, fixed issues where a common artifact was higher than a repeatable quest reward for it. I can't tell if these guys were shooting me or if they were, like, I don't know if these guys are friends or not. Artifact durability. Huh. Reworked and replaced N62 ammo across the map. Can't tell really what's going on over there. Performance drop issues from Dead Valley, inventory menu issues with the controller. Players get permanent damage and stuff, so there's a lot of reworking of mechanics that existed in the past. Ammo counting issues, overall quality issues, audio with lots and lots of audio problems, crashing specifically on Series S, severe FPS drop locations. Lots of those have been fixed. Lots of encounter situations, so if you're doing main missions, several issues with voiceover syncing, some other issues in regards to like how the NPCs would interact and sync and move throughout the environment. Just tons and tons of fixes with various missions where things were getting like stuck, or characters were getting stuck, or audio lines weren't moving or weren't synced, or issues like that. Just a huge selection of fixes, which I'm sure you'll appreciate if you are someone that's been working through the campaign and you've been getting stuck anywhere. Okay, now on to one of the coolest features, I would say, in the game, as far as like a big update. I kind of really buried the lead on this one. Mod support. So we have mod support through, well, if you're on Steam Workshop and mod.io. So we're just gonna, I think we like an autosave, right? Can we just, yeah, quick save, and then we're gonna go to the main menu, and I wanna talk about that. Yeah, it's saving anyways, doesn't matter. So this is kind of a big one here, is the mod support. So we have the mod browser. Keep in mind that this just launched for the console side of things. I will eventually do some video stuff in regards to mods, but like it's just brand new. Like we've already got CJ from Grand Theft Auto here, which is kind of hilarious. But this is like literally, if you're watching this later, this is like a day one thing. I almost should have done a new whole review video on this stuff, but like, this is what your mod menu is going to look like in the game, which is just such an evolution here. So very easy to download stuff, very easy to look at like what something is, see photos, like, dislike, see who made stuff. So you get a crowbar, which is kind of cool. Like apparently the modding tools are incredibly in-depth. That's a Hello Kitty one. We're gonna get some cool mods for this on console. Yeah, and then you can subscribe to certain mods, and it looks like you have quite a massive limit there in the top right corner, like 139 gigabytes of potential mod storage. I believe that's the capacity they're going for. So I can't really show you much mods because there's not really anything. It's just like a Hello Kitty sniper skin or something, but there's quite a lot of options that we're getting there, and that's super, super cool to have like mod support on console. Seeing more games get mod support, that's just fantastic. So other updates, improved pathing for NPCs, improved NPC cigarette smoking animation. Obviously, that's really important. You can speed up the credits on the game now. That's across platforms. Improved distant and indoor gunshot sounds. Improved HUD appearance for changing ammo functionality. Enhanced inventory sorting and scrolling on loot windows. They've enhanced weapon attachment descriptions, adjusted sound volume for medkit. I guess if you were on PC, aspect ratio options, and graphic settings, and then they reworked the lip sync for the Ukrainian voice acting. So like this really is, like, I wasn't kidding when I was like, wow, this is an immensely big update to the game. Like this is huge improvements here. So we've been doing like performance mode 2. It still seems like it does exhibit some drops here or there, but it is like continuingly to getting better, which is fantastic. Like the game itself, it's kind of funny because I always say, wow, it was rough when it came out. Honestly, on console, like I streamed it, like the whole game, I streamed through it on console, and it was very, very rough on the Series X. And then like literally a week later, they had like a big massive update, which improved the quality of life for this game so much. And then it's just kind of funny because the game just continues to get better and better, and I had to like kind of just suck it up and deal with a version of the game that was basically like the A-Life system, which is cool, and it was a bit of a system in this, but it wasn't like necessarily great, but that was definitely lacking, and that's kind of come alive a little bit. Like if you're not familiar with the A-Life system, it's so neat, and it makes like Stalker a very unique game in the sense that it allows this world to like evolve. So other games, you just kind of like play them and you explore, and there's superficial changes that you do, but the cool thing in the Stalker games, at least traditionally, is that like things you do, NPCs you interact with, things that happen in these games, they actually like stick, and they change the world that you're in based on that. And it's very, very cool to see that exist in these types of games, because there's not many games that do that kind of a thing. It's very, very cool. I think there's a guy up here, but weren't we here earlier? I don't know if we were here. Mutants. Terrifying, eh? Is there somebody fighting the mutant? Huge, huge changes to this game. Seriously. And just like, it gives it so much more personality and life when things are actually working as they are intended to work. I just like, honestly, the version of the game that if you play it now, you'd be like, oh, this is really great, this is amazing, and it's like, yeah, and then you go back to when I was playing it at launch, and I was like, this is painful, things don't work properly, things are bugged, the balancing is weird. It was like a really needlessly grindy, hardcore experience, and now it's like, oh, this is actually kind of really fun and well done, and but you know, I've already worked through it, and I've already done all my, you know, fighting and stuff, and I've done my time in the Stalker universe, so it's mostly me doing little update videos until this eventually comes to the PlayStation 5 down the road. I'd love to see if they could pull this off for Switch 2. That would be fascinating to have this experience on the go. I don't know if it's possible. Maybe there's like a really cut down version of it, but yeah, no, it's really, really neat, and I still think the AI is a little ridiculous. Like, where is it coming from? Over there? It's so dark out. What is this? Their like base of operations going on here. Super cool. So yeah, I mean I think the A-Life system is a lot better now. I think you're going to be very, very happy with the improvements that they've made across the game. The sound's better, plays better. We got mod support, which is insane. I'm going to have to keep my eye open, and we're going to start working on some good mod-type videos for Stalker 2, obviously. So, like, if you see cool mods, or maybe even if you make cool mods, you know, let me know, and we'll, like, investigate them and show them off and dive into them, because, you know, I like doing mod video type stuff, and it's so cool to see this sort of a thing on the consoles. The enemy, like, know-how for stuff, they are ridiculous. Like, there's no reasonable reason they should know, like, tracking me through the building like this. Like, you are over there, sir. You are across the street. How are you able to track me inside the building in what room I was going to? Like, it's not unreasonable for me to think that's ridiculous, right? Like, you saw me go in the main door there, but then you're shooting me as I enter this room as if you know I'm entering the room. Definitely still needs some work in regards to, like, you know, AI knowledge. And I know I've got, like, a flashlight on, which definitely makes me more visible, but, like, it's a little too... They're too able to track you through walls and stuff. At least they're not shooting me specifically through walls, but they are, like, literally predicting... Oh, that's unsettling. Like, where I'm going to be through walls, which is kind of annoying. But yeah, very, very cool update to this game, I'll tell you that much. Oh, there's some green stuff going on in here. Kind of cool seeing all the glass, like, dynamically break in that. Yeah, no, I don't want to go in there, do I? That's a bad building. That's a contaminated building, isn't it? Well, it's a nice day out in Stalker 2. I think this is like a substantially big update. I think you'll be very, very happy and pleased with it if you're like a returning fan. If you've been waiting to play Stalker, I think this is more than a good go-ahead point to actually jump in and like play this game. Obviously, I'm looking forward to seeing it arrive on other platforms, hopefully in the not-too-distant future. For now, mod support is fantastic. Can't wait to get and see it, but yeah, just some more rebalancing adjustments and some other things to improve and change. And I don't know, Stalker 2 is really, really coming together. Like, the bones of this one, always very, very good, but yeah, it definitely did need some more work and some more improvements. And yeah, at least everybody else gets to enjoy the experience a little bit better than I did, which I always find funny. And look, it's, you know, the day's finally coming through. Or maybe it's just always like this in Pripyat. It's hard to say. It's it's a dark, scary place for sure. But yeah, that's your Stalker 2 1.5 update, and I'll probably see you for 1.6 or other updates.